All right, welcome to another video from the Chart Reader. So this is Stock Talks episode 3. It actually seems like people are really liking these ticker views more than the overall market view, which I think is a little sad. I think it is really important to know the market, but gotta listen to what people are saying, right? So let's start by looking at today's sector. We're gonna call this the meme sector, okay? Yesterday I actually got a comment on Mullen about it being, for lack of words, just low float, try to kill a shorty, stuff like that. These are all really common terms in what I've kind of categorized as meme stock. So I'm only going to cover 6 of them. I hope I don't offend anyone by calling any of these a meme stock. I don't know if you're lying or not, but nonetheless, we're going to look at a family of them, and we're going to start with the king of them, the one that kind of created it all, right? GameStop. So like normal, we're going to look at the daily. Again, this is GameStop, and then we'll start on the moving averages above and then get to our lower indicators in a moment. So let's talk about GameStop. Let's talk about really a couple things before we talk about the immediate. So let's go back to early July, and I'll actually zoom out a little bit to give it a little bit better of a story. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's walk through actually before July. So what day is this? This is early April. Again, if you've watched a few of these videos, early April is going to be the start of a lot of downward trajectories, right? And a lot of that is because that's actually when the market started. So it really all ties in. And again, I wish people were watching the market updates as much as these ones, but hey, I'll try to find a good balance. Nonetheless, we clearly are in a battle with what is ultimately the final moving average on top. It's the 200. And, we make an incredible run. We're clearly climbing the 8. We're breaking all these other moving averages. We get to the last one, and there was definitely a fail. It actually looked like we were going to bounce up, but again, it didn't really do it. And then we eventually lose the 8. And we are now just making this run of, hey, can we get back the 8? We can't. Can we get back the 8? We can't. Okay. And look, this was the first actual break of the 8. Okay. So now we're going to start fighting these other moving averages, right? You got the 20, this is the 100, the 50, and the 200, right? So we make our way up. Again, all of these days were above the 8. These days here, look, don't get me wrong, I probably would have sold at some point, right? A lot of when I buy and sell has to do with the day before and how we actually do compared to the day before. But nonetheless, staying over the 8 is just simply rule number 1. You got to be over the 8, okay? From there, we're battling all these other moving averages, and I've said it on a couple videos, it's hard to break lines, and there were attempts again at this next one. You can see that's a fake one, but not really. This is the first attempt of the 200 since back here, another attempt of the 200, and then almost another 1, 2, 3 back to back, but all of them failed, and then eventually we break it and get this nice little extra run. From there, look, ultimately, there's also a couple other things happening, right? Once you gain a good moving average, you'll see the 100 is the second highest up, right? So if you can actually break the 100 and actually hold it, right? I talk about confirmation a lot. You start to be able to ride that one as well. And that's actually what does happen. You'll see once we kind of gain this 100, we do ride the 100 as we go up and down. And then again, we get this good jump. Where are we sitting now? Look, obviously there's a good amount of money made between 120 and 160, right? Yeah, real quick, that's actually a nice little percentage right there. So I don't like the fact that we finished well below yesterday, okay? Generally, you want to at least, come closer to up here if you're gonna lose, right? There are healthy losses and then there are bad losses, right? Even this one, which was a bad day, hey, look, we at least didn't lose the entire day, right? As you start to lose entire days, that's when I start to get nervous, right? So I would expect another come down to maybe testing this either 8 or 200 again. That said, if we can actually break 150 one more time, there it should keep flying, right? So Last time I drew some lines and it seemed people liked the lines, so let me zoom out a little bit and make some lines here. So this is at least the next immediate one. If we can break 158, you can round it to 160. There's very little reason why we wouldn't start climbing back up, right? The next one would probably come to here, and then, hey, one more attempt more than likely here. What's actually looked like it's happening is we might be coming back down this way. So let's put one line at this bad boy, and look, it actually hits again right here and right here. So I do like this line. I could see us coming down to 145. Let's go to the nearest, 0 and 5 number. From there, we need to hold that, right? Hopefully we hit that and we bounce. I think I'm going to put a line. I want it right here. Sorry. Again, I'm not necessarily looking for 100% exact, but you can see we hit right here, we hit right here, we hit right here, and a bunch of little lines hit around that too. So I do like this line. So this one's a little tight. I could even actually see it. I feel like delete this one in all honesty. I see 142 being a little more realistic because look, it almost lines up exactly with this 200 as well. So I could see that happening. And again, if we hold it, hopefully it would come to this and then make another bounce back up. Otherwise, we might come back down, and let me put another line down here just to do it. Let's use this, and I think I want to use the bottom instead of the top. Yeah, look at that. So the bottom hits right here, right here, right here. Again, why am I using the top? Why am I using the bottom? I promise you, if you watch enough of these videos, you'll get it. A lot of that really is just a few years of knowledge in my head, right? So, and I hope you notice that a lot of what I'm doing on these videos are live. I did not practice this game analysis before, right? So you're just kind of watching me think and talk, right? Kind of live. So I think this is a solid trajectory for what should come, right? Let me zoom out. We're currently sitting right here. Again, there is live after hours trading, so we're going to move as I talk, right? But I'm actually, I think I'm going to delete this line. No, let's leave it. You know what? We're here to get... No, I'm going to delete it. Let's do it. We don't need this line. I think if we lose that, we're going to come down to 142. So it makes this look a little fatter than it is. You know what? No, we're going to keep it. There's no reason to... Oh, you're not going to let me Control Z that? Where was that line? I think it was right here. No. But that's another good line, it looks like. Maybe it was here. Yeah, I think that was roughly it. Give or take. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Obviously, if you go back in the video and you hit rewind, you'll get the exact line. But I think this is a good 3 lines up or 3 lines down on GameStop. And that's what I'm going to try to do a little bit more. On the last videos, I kind of gave the lines up. It could definitely go down, right? But I think this will give you where it could go if it's going to go. So number 2 on our meme list is AMC. Again, oh, hold on. We're not going to look at the bottom indicators. Let's just keep going. So really a lot of the same story, right? It looks like, yep, early April, we lose this 8. We are now trading well below the 8 for so many days. We get one break up here, but there was no confirmation. We get a nice little couple days. Again, you still can't beat the 8 and you go back down. Then we get this first couple day confirmation of breaking the 8. Don't get me wrong, clearly we lose it here, and this is one of the things I talked about. If you lose so much of 1 day, 2 day, 3 days trading, I mean, put some stop losses in there, people, for sure. We'll talk about stop losses on the Knowledge Center one of these days soon. But again, we start getting more real. I gotta let my cat out the door. I'm sorry. Biggest. All right, go. Okay, sorry about that. So again, we're now basically doing this game of confirming beating the 8. Nice break of the 8, nice break of the 20 for the first time as well, right? Again, come back down, but don't lose the 20. This is a little scary, but again, we've lost this day alone. We lost the complete day, right? So that should be enough sign for you to say, shit, it's probably going to be another bad one a couple next days, right? From here, not quite the same, right? It was definitely the opposite. So, again, there's some rules, but hopefully we'll make some lines. And again, we're going to kind of start moving into the front. So where are we immediately? Look, this right here is probably the nicest section, right? You get a nice break of what's actually 3 lines, okay? Then you obviously are going to come back down, because I always say it's hard to confirm a break of a moving average, right? Especially as they get bigger. But it breaks the 50, it loses the 50, it gains the 50, it gains it, it gains it, it loses it, it loses it, and then really does this reconfirmation where it smashes this line, okay? I like to go back to what essentially is the biggest green line in the view we're at. Once we can break that shit, boom, it should fly from there, right? That's a little bit of this pattern that we got going. I will say AMC short term at least has a little better life than what is it called? GameStop looks, because again, so far we're at least holding a lot more of the candle. I don't like the fact that we went this high and then hammered down so hard without even just a little baby line up. Okay, there's a good one right there. Hopefully by, 5 o'clock my time, we get a little bit line. But generally, you don't want to see a full day sell. That's not good, you know? But AMC short term looks a little better, but again, I think it'll be just about the same story as we make these lines, right? So that's a good line right there. Let's lower it to the top of that bad boy. I think I did talk about this one, so we're gonna put one here, because again, if it's gonna come back, it could test this thing again. If we break this little quadrant, we'll come to this. I don't think this little guy will be enough to make it a thing. Okay, I see where we're at. So look, even right here, and look, again, this is how you know I'm doing this live, right? We literally opened on the line I just drew, right? And I clearly could have drawn that several days ago, because the past info is there, and that's what I used, right? So we come up to it and fail. We actually try to do it again, and instead of confirming, we fail, right? So I could see us coming down to this 15, let's call it 16 zone, going up. Again, if we can break though, now we're gonna start doing the climb side of it, right? This is gonna be the next 2 tiers down. Let's break this motherfucker right here. I'm cursing a little bit more than I should. I'm sorry. I've actually had a good day. I'm in a good mood and I'm cursing, right? So nice, we lined there, and then I'll put the next one, I think, at the top of this bad boy. Does it line up at the bottom of that one? Even better, right? Okay, cool. So this is essentially the next climb up or climb down that I see. So I'll tell you, the next time we do the meme stocks, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if you were able to kind of get it right, get it wrong. I have no intention of telling you to buy or sell anything that we review here, right? I'm just kind of showing you what should happen, and then again, use the lines to help you. Let's look real quick at down here. Hey, MACD doesn't look bad, actually. It's not exceptionally up, but hey, we've got a nice little healthy distance. I'm happy. Oh, what's that RSI doing? Am I under? Yeah, I can't even tell. That's actually super, super close. But again, not good that they're not saying the same thing, right? Real quick, let's look at games. GME. Actually, same story. So the meme stocks might be doing the same descent down. But again, nasty gains, right? So if you got in at, what essentially was the first real day breaking the 8, and then you waited the second day for the confirmation, hell, even wait this day or this day if you want, because now you're doing a test of the 20 and the 21, right? There's still so many other days that you can fly, right? Hell, if you actually just waited to see if you were going to break the 200 and got in right here, you still had 3 beautiful days up, right? And it looks like you got more than 10%. So as sad as it is that you maybe didn't get here, hey, if you just waited to break the 200, that's a different game on its own, and it's a little safer too, right? But again, getting into too deep a thing, we're only on 2 tickers. There's so many more I want to do. I got to go a lot faster on these. Let's look at Nokia. Shit, what a gap up. Holy fuck. Shit, look at that RSI. My voice just... there's a lot happening right here, actually. We're coming up on the 0 line for the MACD. There is clearly a lot happening on the RSI. Again, 80 isn't necessarily the cap, but 80 is a lot of times the wall that it hits. But just really quickly, yeah, 84. This thing historically has seen 84. So there's still some meat on that. There's still another 20% jump on the RSI we can do. But this is a monster gap. So a gap up is good. A gap down is bad, right? I'm honestly not too sure if they had some news. I'm going to draw some I'm going to draw some, let's do it from this one. Oh, that's a nasty break of a really big downtrend, actually. So there's a lot of positivity on this chart, and what I essentially need to have happen are a few things. Obviously, if we can hold this, what line is that? That's the 100. If we can hold the 100 moving average, that alone is beautiful. If we kind of come back down to, what was it? I think it was this red line. It looks like the red line. I wish I didn't undo that. I did that too early. But I can see this dropping to 480 before doing another takeoff, right? But again, for all I know, this might keep going because they actually did give some real good news. So nice, look at that. The 42 lines up right there. Let me show, look, I'll say this. I'm going to put one right here. Oh, nice, perfect. So I wanted to do roughly half of today. It also kind of lines up here, 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 here. So tomorrow, let's stay above 505. That would be beautiful. From there, let's at least stay over the, oh, nice little fucking jump while I'm talking. Let's stay over the 100. I'm not going to draw a line here because line, but that's literally 5 flat, so that's an easy number to know. So let's put this line here. Let's put this line here. Oh, there has to be something in between. I like this right here. As I drew these, I hope you saw that this single point I was looking at ends up hitting at a couple important places on that line, right? So this right here looks pretty, and then look, this is a very, very healthy support line down. That's just a little too high. I wanted to do it at this point right here. But again, we're not looking for exact. We're kind of looking at rough numbers. So Nokia, again, I don't know if there was any news released or not, but clearly way better MACD and RSIs than the last two meme stocks we saw. So keep an eye on that. And again, this is kind of the process that I do, right? You look at a few, you see what the best one is at the end of the day. Because look, most people don't have enough money to drop it across 6 stocks, right? Or if you do, you're kind of putting yourself too thin. And again, how many you should hold and all that, that's bigger theory stuff that we'll get to at some point. But we're only at 3 tickers and we're way deeper than I expected to be. Let's look at BB, BlackBerry. Not bad, actually. So I don't know if this 100 is going to be an easy break or not. But look, if we can break this 100, there's a nice chunk of change between here and the 200. So let's try to get a good day confirmation tomorrow. Excuse me, my voice is getting a little, I should bring some water. Let's draw some lines. I think that's a good one in between those two. And then let's do some down here. So that's actually where we're sitting right now. Okay, so we'll come right here. And then we'll come right here. Nice, we hit that there. Okay, cool. Again, I think this is a good couple step window up and down, right? Let's see if we climb up. Let's see if we climb down. Again, I would say Nokia just looked a little more robust. I just don't know if it was on any real news or just literally some meme power, right? So every ticker we look at has that one chance that it'll get some stupid volume in one day and just do some meme shit, right? Go up or down, maybe lose too much volume the next day and go like, right? So memes do their own thing, but I promise you the lines will give you some sort of guidance. I regret not putting this on yesterday's EVs, but Polestar has become a meme. Again, I don't want to offend some people that actually believe this is a big thing, but hey, we're actually sitting near a real important line, it looks like. I'm going to actually try to get this a little closer. That right there is a pretty important one. I'm going to put one right here, and then one right here. Look, there's less days, but that doesn't mean you still can't do stuff, right? So let's use what we have to make some lines. Okay, this is what I see. So it looks like we're sitting in this little channel here. If we can break 960, that's good. Nonetheless, right now we are clearly under the 8, right? I have a few people that will actually not trade a stock until you at least get a second line. So right now we only have 8 moving average, which started on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 8th day. You see how that works? And we have not had 20 days of trading yet. So I'm not going to count through that, but I can guarantee you it hasn't been 20, because if it was, the dot would come based on the math needed to make a moving average of 20 line start. So again, I have zero idea what made all these days equal this line dot there. But it went there, and then it went here the next day, and then that is our 8 moving average line, right? So again, some people will not touch a stock until you get a second line so you can start doing more things, right? Some people, hey, look, with one line, this was the first day we broke the 8. This was a confirmation. We'll buy the next day. We're up on the 8, and we're actually up nicely from yesterday. We're up on the 8. This isn't great, but look, we haven't lost it. And here, hey, put a stop loss, shit. I'd probably put a stop. Again, we'll talk about stop losses later. I'm not going to do that on this video, right? But you can do some stuff with one line still. Again, we're under it at the minimum. If you want to get a little risky, you can try to play this channel here if it ever gets it. But look, we're under the 8, right? My videos tell you don't buy under the 8. So RSI is going up. But again, for all I know, the red line is up here, right? So there's still very little info. Again, not enough math for the MACD. Again, I don't know these formulas for the lines. I just know the lines are in here, right? So do what you want with that info. The last one I wanted to look at was UONE. So this is a very big play during June. So it's a Juneteenth stock. You'll see June 2002. Let's go back to, look at that, June 2001. And then I think it happened, look at that, June 2000, right? So the last 3 Junes have been pretty monstrous. I will say this, again, this is a back out view, but just something to note. The Junes are starting to lose a little bit of power. So if you are sitting on your hands and knees waiting for next June to come to do some monster shit on UONE, it might not be as powerful as the last couple times. Hey, that's not to say it might not break over the line and actually do a super wild run, right? But you can see we're actually downtrending on UONE, right? On these June pops. So just, again, something to keep in mind. That said, I know I've seen the stock do very well outside of June, right? So look, there was some blimp here, some blimp here, some blimp here. A little pre-June one here. So where are we now? Look, it's actually a pretty tight fight, right? So it wanted to break the 8 for the first time here and actually gave a few day confirmations. But once we gap down that hard and just lose a number of days, that should be a sign, right? From there, we make another attempt at breaking it, and it actually does look like we've broken it the last 3 days. Additionally, we've had a good 3-day test on this 20, right? Definitely don't like the fact that we lost this right here. We're clearly well below yesterday's candle, right? So if we open below this 8, we're game over. There's a chance that we might actually make another run for this 20 very soon, though, because if you just look at this, we had a nasty drop, right? So let's make some lines. Oh my gosh, I think the cat that I let out now wants to get back in. So let me make these lines for my people, because I can't believe this is 23 minutes. That really wasn't the goal, but this is the last one. Nice, my wife let the cat in, thank you. Thank you. And wow, there's not a lot where we're sitting. I gotta make one down here too. So again, I'm looking at a tighter window, right? So I'm gonna kind of focus post drop. So we are sitting in this channel here. Personally, I'd feel a little more comfortable if we can break 720. Let me see, what does it look like if I do this line instead? No, I'm gonna keep that original one. No, it was this line, sorry. Right there, because I'm actually going off of this one. So one of two things for sure needs to happen. Look, can't lose the 8. Let's break the 20. Breaking the 20 is close enough to, hey, look at that. It actually, nice. Break the 20 or get a confirmation of this 572, 570, 575, that kind of range. And UONE would look better. I didn't really talk too much about the lower ones, but yeah, Nokia seemed to be the nicest of the memes. Again, by no means a buy recommendation, but at least there's a couple trajectories, and when we come back to the meme video on the next episode of Stock Talks, we'll see how it went, and you can see how you played it if you did make a move. But nonetheless, I hope you're learning from these videos. Just kind of go back and forth, see where these lines are. It shouldn't be too hard to add these moving averages. Again, everything I'm using here are actually basic things. So what I do on my personal thing is I use what I call the one. A little more complex, a lot more indicators, and but still, this is far more powerful, what we're actually looking at here, than most people use without it. So I promise you, this ain't bad shit here. So yeah, you'll see the next episode soon, and I do plan on making another market episode soon, because you got to look at the market. No one can beat the market. That includes me. However, I like to say I can kind of see once it looks bad and get out, right? So if you haven't already, check out the website. You can't stop the storm, but you can check the weather. That's actually kind of what I was trying to say. At the end, you can sign up for videos, and at the very top, you'll get the older analysis. This is where the stock talk goes, and then I got to fill up the knowledge center soon. So, hey, I hope you're learning from this. Again, this is all opinion only. Nothing is a recommendation to buy, but I sincerely hope you're learning and making some money. Have a good one.